Good morning, everybody. September 29th. Probably can't see me yet because I'm not in any light, but I'm gonna talk about shad real quick. This is a video for the guys that get it done from the bank and how to locate shad the easy way if you're getting it from the bank. So I'm at Lake Eufaula at the Highland boat ramp, which is a Corps of Engineer ramp. Wow, this thing is low. Wow. The lake's very low. Wow. Anyway, so Lake Eufaula has a lot of boat ramps that are made by the Corps of Engineer, and they're ran by the Corps of Engineer. So this is one of them. It's got a big light up here. You can see behind me. Okay. If I'm on the bank and I'm fishing from the bank and I'm thinking, hey, I want to get some shad and fish with shad, okay? Light and plankton. Anything that's light in the water, anytime there's a light in the water, plankton comes up, is attracted to that light. That brings the shad. Also, the boat ramp itself runs down into the water. Algae grows on a boat ramp. So your boat ramps, your docks, your marinas, anything where there's a light, that's the place to try to look for some shad. So here's the light. The light's shining down in the water, but this lake is, my goodness, this lake is very low, very low. But anyway, there's a place to pull a boat right over there, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna walk to that dock. I'm going to throw this cast net around this light that's in the water right here. This whole area right here is lit up. Plus we've got a wall there. Shad run walls. There's algae that grows on that wall. Shad feed on that. Wow, this thing is low. I cannot believe how low this lake is. Wow. All right, well, it's about 5:15 in the morning. So let's go ahead and see what we can do here. I'll set the camera up right over there, and I'll throw this net out into this lit area right here, and we'll see if there's any shad here. Willing to bet there is, but we'll see for sure here in a second. Net loaded up. We'll come right out here and toss it right around this light. Guys, I don't know how many thread fin I've got in this thing, but it is that simple right there. Also got a decent sized crappie in there, it looks like. I don't know how well y'all can see that, but get my pull this up here so y'all can see. That's what you're looking for, guys. That's nothing but thread fin shad. Smaller ones, big old crappie in there. He's been feeding on them. I mean, there's enough shad for your trip right there, and then some. There's a catfish. Those are all thread fin, it looks like. I'm gonna dump this net because I don't really need any right now. But I just wanted to show you guys how easy that was to do. That was one throw. Now granted, this is a 12-foot net and I can throw it pretty good, so, but that was right here, boom, in this light. I got shad for the trip. These are actually good crappie size shad, actually. Let me get this net dumped real quick. All right, guys, so what did I do there to get those shad? Know the body of water. This is Lake Eufaula. I've been coming on it now for, you know, a few years now, so I've got a good understanding of where the boat ramps are, how they're set up, what's Corps of Engineer, what's run by the county, what's, you know, private and all that stuff. Your Corps of Engineer ramps, they're gonna have usually a good light system. So I know that. So I pulled up here, this light is shining down into the water. I've got a dock that I'm standing on. I threw that cast net right there. Okay, there's the lighted area. I threw it in there. I got threadfin, I got bass, I got catfish, I got crappie. That just goes to show you, when you got bait in the area like this, I mean, really and truly, somebody could sit right here with a slip cork and some minnows, probably get a dozen crappie or so pretty quick. Good ones too. So that's what I did. There was nothing hard about this. My boat's right up there with my truck. It's right up there. I walked down here, threw over the light, and you could do this on either side. I mean, this is a lit up area right here. You can't see it as well because the dock's kind of blocking the light, but there's enough light over there. I guarantee there's shad there. Guaranteed, not a doubt in my mind there's shad there. So you can utilize this at the dam, at boat docks, if you've got somebody that's got a lighted dock on the lake and you say, hey, I gotta go freeze up some shad. Wait till nighttime, go get you some shad, go throw that net around those lights and learn how to throw your net. And now, one thing visually, like if you just wanted to stand here, I just saw some shad break the surface and flip on the top. That's another thing, but I guarantee you, if you don't see any shad, they're still here. I guarantee it. So, but that's how you get it from the bank. And you can use that at a dam. If there's, most of the time your dams will have lights. You know, if you can walk a catwalk and there's a lighted system down by a wall, throw around those lights. I mean, that's where you're going to get shad from the bank. Now, in the daytime, you're going to have to find them running the walls. You're going to have to really look for them during the day. But, you know, it's 30 minutes. It'll be sunrise here. So, well, maybe about an hour. Probably closer to an hour. But, I mean, wake up an hour early if you need to. I mean, if I had enough shad there for my whole day fishing. The entire day. So, that's how I would get it done from the bank. And I could get in my truck right now, drive up the road, go to Thomas Mill, go to White Oak, go to Cheenahatchee, go to Barber, go across on the Georgia side. On the Georgia side of their boat ramps, anywhere there's a light, that's where you need to be throwing your cast net if you're from the bank. Now, I'm fixing to get on the boat. I got a guy that wanted me to get him some crappie, so I'm fixing to get on the boat, and I'm gonna go out here and get on the fish finder and look around. And we'll find some shad out there. Now, those were all good size. They were what I would consider medium to small size shad. Those were kind of on the baby shad size. They were all 2.5, 3 inches. But out on the lake, if you know your electronics, you know how to use your fish finder, you can target bigger shad. If I threw a few more times right here, which I really don't want to kill a bunch of shad. Amazingly, I think only 2 or 3 of those shad died, and I probably had over 100 in the net. So, if I really wanted to sit here and throw the net, I would be willing to bet there's some big gizzards around in here too. I'm just not going to do it right. I don't want to kill a bunch of shad, to be honest with you, but this was easy, guys. I mean, if I was going to go down there and fish that public area down there, I would stop right here first. I'd throw that net. I'd get good fresh shad. Go out there, fan cast off that dock or that pier over there, sit on the bottom, and I guarantee you'd have a mess of catfish in no time. I mean, you can see I caught, there was also 2 little catfish in there. They're so hard to get out of a net when they're that small because they just put their fins out, their barbs out, and they just stick all in the net. But I'm walking back to the boat right now, and I could have had enough shad for the whole day. So that wasn't too hard. That took all of 10 minutes. So all right, so I'm in my boat now, but let's keep talking about shad. All right, I just left the boat ramp. I'm heading out in the middle of Lake Eufaula. You probably can't see me, but it's still kind of dark. But let's keep talking about shad. I want you to look right here. See on that side imaging right there? See on that down imaging? Every bit of that shad, every bit of it. And all I did was just leave out from the boat ramp. Reason being, there's still tons of light in the area. Okay? All that shad, every bit of that. That's nothing but shad. I mean, it's just piles and piles and piles of shad. If you could throw a 10 or 12 foot cast net, you could stop right here, put your trolling motor down, get all you wanted for the day. And all I've done is just leave the boat ramp and driving straight across the lake. That's it. I'm not doing anything special. I'm going at 3 miles an hour, just driving across the lake. That's how much shad's in the lake right now. That's how much shad's available. You know, I'm not dealing with any type of creek or anything like that. Now, when the sun comes up and it does get daylight, I would move into a creek and start looking for bait. That's how I would do it. So just as a side note, maybe for myself more than anything, if you ever want to know what days not to go fishing on, you should, you know, message me or contact me, and I'll tell you the days that I take off from work to go fishing. Those are the days you don't go, because it's supposed to be daylight right now. It is overcast, the water's chocolate milk. The lake, I went out on the lake, the wind shifted directly out of the north, probably northwest. There's not a doubt in my mind that these are the days that people really get hurt on this lake. If you've got a smaller boat, you get capsized out there. I went out, checked one of my trees to see if I could crappie fish and look at shad, show you guys some shad, and the water was coming over the side of the boat, just sitting there. So you can imagine running. I mean, it's terrible. So I took my time, got off the main lake. I'm in a creek right now. Days to go fishing are days that I'm on call. I work at a hospital, so the days that I'm on call for the hospital and I can't go fishing, or I can't really do anything, those are the days to go, because it'll be bluebird skies, beautiful water clarity, will be perfect. There'll be a little tiny bit of wind, maybe a minute chop on the water, but just enough to where it's not glass, where the fish will really be active. Those are the days to go. You know, you can have my call schedule, so you can plan those days. But if I take a day off of work to go fishing, don't go those days, because it'll look like the ocean out there and you won't even be able to fish it. That's just a side note. All right, I showed you how to get shad from the bank using a light at a boat ramp or marina, dock, wherever there's light. So I can't run in the main lake because it's just dangerous out there right now. Winds out of the north, straight down the lake. Bad news. All right, so I'm in a creek right now. Okay, I'm kind of out of the wind. Still got some wind. Still putting up with some wind, but I'm in a creek. So if I'm in a creek and I'm looking for shad, I'm going to use the trolling motor or the big motor, however you want to do it. If I don't have a fish finder and the water's calm enough, look for them breaking the surface, what they call flickering. They'll be flipping. Take your trolling motor over there to where you saw them flip. Throw your net. Maybe you'll get some shad. Obviously, a larger diameter net's going to help out a lot there. Tell you what, let's do. Let's ease around this creek. We'll use the fish finder here. We'll just kind of look, see what we got, see what we're dealing with. All those little dots right there, those trees and stuff like that, that's bait fish. That is 100% bait fish. I mean, and all I'm doing is just going through here looking. Now, is that a thick school of bait fish? Is that something I would throw a net on? No, no. But what I'm doing is I'm heading straight over here. Matter of fact, let me pause. I'm gonna put the trolling motor up. I'm gonna use the big motor and we'll put around right here and see what we get here. Hang on just a second. All right, so I'm gonna turn the big motor on here, and just for sake of saving battery and time, all that good stuff. There's a little finger over here, kind of an inland that has a point that comes out over here. I'm going to take the boat straight over there because I'm in a creek. I'm out of the main body of water. I'm out of the wind. There's shad everywhere. I mean, but they're kind of spread out right here. What I'm going to do over here is use the big motor here and try to really find a good school that I would throw on, that I would actually throw to get bait to go fishing, because I don't want to spend all day getting bait. I want to get out here. I want to get it done. I want to go. There's a pile of bait right there. Be a possible one to set up on. But let's get up here. Let's see what we can do up here. By the way, I did a hummingbird update on this thing that it suggested do. It's the first. I have a Humminbird Helix 10, the Mega imaging. It's the first update that I've done, and my picture hasn't looked the same since. I cannot, and I studied these fish finders. I know how to use them, you know, frequencies, sensitivity, you know, on the Humminbirds is sensitivity, on the Garmin is gain, you know, and all this stuff, frequencies, high, low, what's better in each depth. I studied all that stuff. I got on YouTube, hours, read, you know, I've read literature like crazy, trying to be the best that I can be at reading sonar. Well, so I get my, I get my contrast right, sharpness right, sensitivity kind of like I want it depending on what's in the water that day. You know, all these things to get the clearest picture where I can say, hey, that's gizzard shad, hey, that's threadfin, that's a school of crappie, that looks like big catfish or carp or gar sitting on the bottom, you know, whatever. And I did this update. Oh, I'm coming into some shad right here. Kill the motor for a second. There's a bunch of shad right here. So did this update and then get out on the water right after the update and start tweaking my settings and everything. Picture looks terrible. It's grainy. Looks, I mean, it looks so pixelated or something. I wish I'd never done that update. I just wish I'd never done it. But anyway, we just went through a pile of shad back there, but I'm gonna ease up here some more because there's a little deeper water up here. Right here it's 7-8 foot of water. Let's ease up here and really see if we can find a, ooh, there was a super school right there. I'll show you. That's a good school of shad right there. I don't know if you can see that. Let it focus. Coming into some more over here, but that's okay. We'll get up here and I'll show you how I really kind of fine tune and get set up to get this bait. Coming on another good school. Coming on that may be a gizzard shad school right there. That one right there, that may be gizzard shad. But anyway, let's ease around here and see what we can do here. I'm gonna use the big motor. I'm gonna go to a different. Let's do some side imaging and down imaging. Oh, we can see what they look like on both. Yeah, we'll just put it on this one. So this is that inlet to the creek. I'm gonna ease through here. And I know it gets deeper out in there because there's a channel that comes right down the middle of it. So what I'm looking for is that transition between shallow water and deep water. That's where these shad this time of year, this water temp, they're holding kind of on the edge. That's why a lot of your good catfishermen, you'll see them anchor up or drift channel ledges. You know, you're getting bait. That's where these predator fish, these catfish, are all in here getting bait. I'm in 6 foot of water right now. Probably going to start dropping off here in a second. And there's some bait. Plenty of them. That's what you're looking for, guys. That is something that I would throw on right there, both sides of the boat. All right, so I'm gonna kill the motor. So now I know, look at the bait, guys. That's nothing but shad. That's nothing but threadfin shad. That is huge. So even if you don't know how to throw a net well, if you can use your electronics, look at that, guys. If you've got a good understanding of your electronics and kind of know what, oh, that's massive right there. That's huge. I mean, you can get bait, guys. So I'm gonna kill the motor. Let's pause for a second. I'm gonna kill the motor. Let's go up here and do this. So I've got a general idea of where that bait is. I just went over it. So I've got a Garmin 93 SV up here on the front that I use for the live scope, but it's also got, the SV stands for side view, so it's got some side imaging. They call it side view. Okay, so I know that there's shad back behind the boat, all right, because the wind's not blowing real bad right now. So how would I set up to get that bait? Okay, I put the trolling motor down. I'm going to turn around and I'm going to just ease light speed. You ain't got to do nothing crazy. I'm going to put it on continuous and I'm going to turn around and go back over those shad. Now, the whole reason that I didn't get a Garmin unit just for live scope, because they make really good Garmin units for live scope. The screens are better, the picture's better, it's larger. I think they have 11 or a 12-inch screen that you can get and have live scope on the bow of your boat and just run nothing but live scope. I catfish a lot, so the reason why I got the 93 SV is for the down view or down imaging. I use this to catch my bait. I can run my trolling motor. So what I did before, and I just got this no more than 7-8 months ago. So what I used to have to do was I would run like I just did on the big motor with the Humminbird Helix, and I would go over fish. I would hit spot lock, and then I would just cast around in that area. Well, that's to me, that was a big waste of time, because I was up, down, up, down, up, down, up, especially when bait's scarce. So I'm lined up here. I'm going to look at this. I'm going to have my net loaded. I'm going to use the foot control of the trolling motor, and I'm going to go down through here and look for a big ball of bait and then throw my net. So here's what they look like right now. I mean, that's shad, both sides of the boat. So what I'm going to do is take it off spot lock here. All right, I'm going to ease down through here. You don't have to go fast. I wouldn't go fast, actually, because that motor will probably scare them. And I mean, look at this, guys. What we're looking for is we're looking for shad to be on both sides of the boat. So right now, I mean, that's, you can tell there's some shad. I mean, that's, now we're narrowing up here. That means we're coming into shallower water, so I want to stay back over this drop off here. There's a good school right there. You could throw over that, definitely get some bait. Yep, look to the right there. You could throw over that. So now we're coming into some bait. There's some bait. So that's all I do. I mean, I'll be standing up here with this net loaded. Now there's some bait right there on the down imaging. So right in front of the boat here. I don't know if you can see that over there. Anyway, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sit right here and I'm gonna load up a 4-foot net. I brought this little 4-footer because I may do a little catfishing today and I don't want a lot of shad. I don't want to kill a lot of them, and I just don't want a pile of shad. So I'm gonna load up this little 4-footer and I'm gonna go over some bait like I just did. All right, guys, so there's nothing to this net. I mean, it's small of a net as I think you can probably get. I mean, there's nothing to it. Because I don't want a lot of bait. If I wanted to throw that 12-footer, I'd throw that 12-footer and I'd load the boat with these things. But I don't want a lot. But real quick, let's talk about where I found them real quick. So, in the creek, on a little finger off the creek, that's where they're at. I mean, that's where they're at this time of year. Got them around the lights earlier, around the lights. Now it's daytime. I'm up in a creek. I'm gonna use the, whoo, there's a big old, that'll like gizzard shad right there. So I'm gonna go back out over this deep water, right where this deep water transitions off this shallow water. There's some bait right there. Like that. Actually on track right here. I'm gonna let that go there. All I did was just throw this little dude right off the side of the boat here. That's it. Let it go down. Look here. There's threadfin right there. And that's a little bitty net. That's a little tiny net, guys. I'm actually gonna keep these. Little bitty net. There's my bait. I mean, that wasn't too hard at all. So I hit the spot lock and it stayed right here because I threw this net. Let's just ease around and see if we can get a little bit more. I need a little bit more bait than that, but showing bait over here to the right. There's some more. A couple right there. You know, and you might be going, well, dang, he's not getting a lot of bait. I don't want a lot of bait. I've got a 12-footer right here, I promise you. If I eased up that way where the majority of those shad were and pancaked that 12-footer out there, I'd have enough shad to load this boat. But I just don't want, I don't want to kill a lot, and I don't want a lot today. I don't need a lot, so I'm gonna go with a little smaller net. Now, I did get off the shad a little bit. They're more back this way. We'll turn around, what we get. Bunch right here. There's some more. These are good bait right here, guys. Okay, I got enough to do some catfishing anyway. Alright, I mean that's how you do it, guys. I mean, I'm gonna put this net up. I'm gonna put the trolling motor up, turn that fish finder off. We'll get on the big motor in the Humminbird Helix. We'll drive around this creek and look for some more fish. But the thing is, once you find them, once you locate them where they are, then you really start fine-tuning how to get them. Now the thing is, if all you can throw is a 4 or 6 foot net, I wouldn't waste my time with getting on the electronics and finding little tiny schools of bait. I mean, the reason why I was able to throw this little tiny net out here in the middle of, I mean, these fish aren't holding to anything, they're just out here. The reason why I was able to do that is these are big schools of bait. I mean, like I said, if I really wanted to, and I took that 12-foot net and pancaked it out here, I'd have enough threadfin shad to, I mean, fish for months. But I just ain't wanting to do that because I throw away a lot of shad and I don't want to kill a lot. So I look over there too and I see a bird over there close to the bank. That's an idea of where to start looking for some shad, would be over there. Yeah, when I pulled up to the boat ramp this morning and there was you know, we were talking about netting shad under that light on the dock, all I heard was birds down there when I first pulled up. That's a good indication, you know. So we're pulling out into the creek. We're going to leave the shallower water and that secondary channel coming into that little finger over there, and we're going to go out here in the main drag out here. It should get, you know, 20-something foot of water out here. There's some shad right there. So my plan was to come out here today and show the guys on the bank how they can utilize these boat docks, marinas, the dam, anywhere there's some light shining in the water. I mean, all you got to do is just let that plankton start getting around that light. The shad are going to be there, I promise. And I was going to crappie fish for a guy at work, wanted some crappie, but I can't get out on the main lake to get to my spots. There's crappie in here, but they're spread out. They're kind of, I mean, they're just kind of, they're right below the surface, like 3 or 4 foot. So there's a dock up there. Guarantee you there's some shad in front of you. I just about guarantee, because they're eating algae and stuff that are on the dock itself. But let's ease through here. If I was going to come through here and look for some shad, let's say I couldn't get over there, or you know, nothing really looked good in here to look for shad, I'm just going to ease across here and look for them on the fish finder here. Let's see. There's some shad on the bottom there. Could be gizzards. There's a school to the left. Now, if I had a 4-foot net, I'm not setting up on that school right there. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just not gonna do that. There's some shad right there, guys. Both sides of the boat. That's what you're looking for, both sides of the boat. See how it's widening out? We're getting deeper. So there's what I was talking about, those transitions from shallow to deep. That's where the shad are hanging out at, guys. They're running the ledges. You can see them right there on 2D. Shad's up top up there, and that's probably, look at there, look there, guys. That's what you want to throw over, guys. That's what you want to set up on. This right here. That's all under the boat. We're going over those fish. Goodness gracious, look there, guys. All the fish to the right hand side of the boat. Look at there on 2D. That's what they look like on 2D. You can see the big fish down below them feeding on those fish. That's what you're looking for, guys. So just like back there, how would we set up on those? Well, what we would do is you kill the boat, kill the big motor, put your trolling motor down. You can, you know, have a general idea. These shad aren't moving that much. They're relating to the tops of these trees. They're down in the channel. They're just kind of sitting right now. They're not moving around a whole heck of a lot. So drop your trolling motor down, get an idea of where that was. And if you don't have that bow mounted, you know, fish finder on your trolling motor, you know, get a buddy. If you're out here with somebody, have your buddy back here who's got a decent understanding of, you know, just show them kind of, hey, I'm looking for this. When you see this, let me know which side of the boat they're thicker on. Boom, drop your net. Promise you will get shad that way. See, I go by myself a lot. I mean, that's why it's solo river catfishing. I mean, I go by myself a lot. So I don't have usually that person that's back here saying, hey man, shad to the right of the boat, shad to the left of the boat, hey, we're going over them, throw out in front of the boat, you know. So, but if you've got that, take advantage of it. So we just come off the channel. We're up here in 10 foot of water now, where it's a little more shallow, and there's still shad up here. I mean, all that shad, guys, nothing really big school there. There's some better schools there. Right there. Small thread fin too. These are all 2.5, 3 inch thread fin. There's some bait right there. See, I would set up on that to the right there. That right there, if they didn't move that much, you could get some bait there. All that right there, you could probably get some bait there. Shallowing up here. Let's see if there's anything on the upslope here. Yeah, there we go, guys. That's what we're looking for right there. Right there, both sides of the boat. Definitely right there. There we go, guys. So coming in here, you got a lot of bait here. Yeah, here we go. So I mean, that's what I'd set up on right there. This right here, these are predator fish, but yeah, okay. So there's where you can end your day right now, throwing a cast net for baits right here. Right there, both sides of the boat, right here, real thick. Maybe a couple of gizzards and that, some bigger shad right there. But this right here, so that little stretch I just went over, you can end your day right there. You're done. How do we do it? Stop the boat, we get up there, we drop the trolling motor, we're still coming into bait. I mean, this is bait, guys. So that's all you do, man. I mean, that's it. I mean, that's how I get my bait. And this holds true for even out on the main body of water. You get out there, you're riding around, you see a screen full of bait, pop that trolling motor down, start chunking that net, get your bait. Get it while it's there, guys. All right, guys, I'm leaving Lake Eufaula. And I'll be perfectly honest with you, I had no business today being on that lake. I don't know what the wind was, but it was out of the northwest, so basically coming straight down the lake. And I think I got some shad video that should be pretty good for you guys, you know, on Lake Eufaula, kind of how I find them, how I catch them, from the bank and from the boat. But guys, I'll tell you right now, that is the conditions out there that get people hurt, probably. I mean, that was kind of foolish on my part to even go out on the main body out there. Tried to get to my crappie piles. I was going to try to catch a guy at work, a few crappie. But anyway, guys, I hope y'all like this video. Comment, like, subscribe. If you see something on there that you're like, hey man, what is that? What are you talking about? Let me know. That way I can reiterate more, or you know, I don't really know what to do unless you guys tell me to. So But anyway, that was real, you know, kind of a impromptu video. But yeah, I got some shad. So hopefully you guys, hopefully the footage turned out good. I was battling the wind all day and overcast and stuff. So, but anyway, guys, y'all take care, and we'll see you next time.